What's with all the Ram hate? You know, there's only 5 viable reasons that I can think might explain it. Let's talk about it. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Automotive FST. Real quick, if you haven't before, smash that subscribe button and click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. So I've been thinking about this. You know, what is it with all of the Ram hate? You know, I seem to get comments on the channel consistently, and maybe it's just the same person with different logon names. You know, people do that. They'll have like 5 or 6 different logon names, and then they'll come on and say the same thing 5 different ways as if they were 5 different people. You know, it's interesting. I had one of those scam kind of people on recently. They'll get on your channel and they'll pretend like they're a group of people having a conversation. Usually it involves investments or stocks. You know, they'll say, hey, have you checked out Joe Blow's investment? And somebody else will say, yeah, I did. They actually made me $12,000. And then somebody else will come in and go, yeah, I've heard of them. They did a really good job. I'm so glad that you told me about them. And you'll have this whole string of comments that's really just one person trying to advertise or promote some company or product or something. It's the same kind of way with the trolls out there. They'll log in under different names and then they'll say basically the same thing. You can always tell because it's the same kind of theme or the same misspelled words. Usually they can't spell, their grammar's really bad, and it's just horrible. But anyway, that's not really what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about 5 reasons that are the only things I can think about to try to explain what's with all the Ram hate. Number 1, blind loyalty. You know, for some reason, there's a group of people out there who become loyal to a product for absolutely no reason. And they will be blindly loyal to that product forever. They will defend it. They will tell you how horrible anything else is and how great what they have or what they're defending is. That one's kind of astonishing to me because unless they're getting a royalty check every month, I don't really understand that. How can you be blindly loyal to any product? It's always good to keep an open mind and kind of take a look at things for what they are. It's what I do on my channels. You know, I love the Toyota Tacoma, but I'm not a blind loyalist. It has problems, and I talk about them. There are even some other trucks out there that I consider to be a little bit better. I'm not a blind loyalist, rather, when it comes to anything. Some people seem to be. Number 2, ownership justification. Now, these are the folks I think that maybe they've bought a truck and to try to justify spending all that money that they spent or having a truck that they really don't like quite as much as they let on that they do or that they're trying to convince you that they do, that they're trying to justify their own ownership. In other words, to make themselves feel better about the brand, the truck that they bought. You know, it's kind of like a psychological norm, I guess, or a psychological theory that when you really are into something or against something, you go completely the other way. And I see some of this too. It's the only thing that makes sense to me because sometimes some of the things that people say are so outlandish that I just don't get how they could possibly feel that way for a product that they didn't build or have any investment in. It makes no sense. Number 3, jealousy. You know, going to that psychological theory that maybe you really do like something and that's why outwardly you're so against it. Maybe they're jealous. Maybe they miss the things that they don't have. You know, let's look at the Toyota Tundra. And I'm talking about pre-2022 as compared to the Ram, let's say. You know, the Ram has a lot of more modern stuff in it, right? It's a little bit flashier. Everything was up to date. Again, looking at the 2021 and older. It gets a little bit better gas mileage. It's got equivalent or even a little bit better power. I mean, there's just a whole list of things that I think the Ram actually does better at as compared to the Tundra. Now, the big argument that everybody always falls back to is reliability. Now, that's a good one because you can't argue that, and I'll give Toyota that. The Tundra is bulletproof. Very, very reliable, but it's not like it doesn't have its problems with anything. There's always been some problems, you know, frame rust, some kind of tower cam leak, pieces and parts, other things. No truck is perfect. So I think it could be a jealousy thing. They really wish that maybe they had that truck, but because they are so blindly loyal or deeply embedded in ownership that they just can't get out and make that step. Who knows? Number 4, just seeking conflict. You know, that's a big thing on the web. It's the keyboard warrior. The people that get on and like to argue about whatever it is. You could say that water is wet. And some people will get on and argue with you that no, water's not wet. Water could be dry, it could be gaseous, it could be, of course, it could be other things. And who cares? I mean, typically, they want to get on and they want to argue things that have nothing to do with the video. You know, they might talk about what you look like. They might talk about your grammar. They might talk about your presentation. They might talk about how long a video goes. You know, I love the people that get on and say, well, you could have done that video in 3 minutes. Well, let me know what your channel name is offline. I'll check it out and we'll see how good of a job you did. You see, they sit back and they throw stones, but they don't have anything to back it up. They're just seeking conflict. They just want a fight. Those people are typically easy to tell as well, because once you respond to them, even if you're nice about it, they just want to carry on. The keyboard warriors. Next up, number 5, the last point. The last thing that I can consider is to why there is so much hate for the Ram. Brand connection. In other words, they do have some skin in the game. Maybe they're an employee of, let's take Toyota for example. Could be Ford, Chevy, whoever. But maybe they're an employee of Toyota. So they are a little bit connected and they feel like you're taking something away from them if you don't buy their product. Maybe they're a manufacturer. Maybe it's somebody who works in design. I've had a few people on the channel that claim to be anyway, engineers for Toyota. Maybe they're taking that personally because they actually had a part in a piece of whatever it is that you might be talking about. Maybe it's a dealership. There are salesmen who earn a living working at, we'll use Toyota again, a Toyota dealership and feel a personal connection to the product because it's how they earn their living. Now, that reason, number 5, is the most valid one, at least as far as I'm concerned, out of the whole list. I understand that if you have an affiliation with another brand, Ford, Chevy, whatever, that yeah, you might have a reason to get on and dog the Ram truck because in essence, you're earning your living because of that other brand. That one makes sense to me, doesn't really justify it for me, but I understand where they're coming from because that's how they put food on the plate. Anyway, leave a comment, let me know. What is with all the Ram hate? You have any other theories? Anything I didn't cover? I'd be curious to know. Also, again, real quick, if you didn't in the beginning, make sure you smash that subscribe button and click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. I do have 2 additional channels. Rob Motive, all about my Toyota Tacoma, which again, I love. And Rob Motive JT, all about the Jeep Gladiator, which I love as well. Check them out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.